Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? It's me, Mr. 4K Upscaler. So, it's funny because it's been almost 7 years, maybe 7 or 8 years since the very first OLED that I have seen was in 2013, and it was a LG Signature OLED. Uh, it was E6, I believe. And interestingly enough, ever since then, and these were like the very first introduction entry level OLEDs, and granted, in the beginning there has been some issues regarding the retention meaning where your screen has a static image. Like right now, if you're looking at this page, there would be a static image for a long period of time. If you leave it like that, it usually takes about 48 hours or less, probably 23 hours to 48 hours for that to happen on these earliest models. There was retention on the screen, but that retention can be also, the static imagery can also be fixed. There was a software built inside the OLED TV to fix that. Now, permanent burn-in, it's something that happens where you have funky colors, yellow spots, orange spots of that printed imagery, meaning that your organic light emitting diodes are pretty much dying. They're dead. And you got that permanent burn-in. You're going to have that funky colors of orange and yellow and then green, and that's it. Now, these were the earliest models. We're talking about the earliest models of 2014, 2015, 2016. Later on, with the C7, E7, B7, they started fixing it up a little bit. They started working on prevention of the burn-in. The LG started working to make these panels more durable. And I think they have done that, especially with the 8 series and the 9 series. They have made these OLEDs much better. There's a lot of stuff you can do on your OLED to prevent a potential burn-in versus the retention. Retention can happen if you are forcing it, but there is a software built into it for you to wipe that off. It takes like an hour for you to wipe it off. But that's a retention. Retention is not like a major problem. The major problem, it's a permanent burn-in. And I want people to understand the difference between a retention that you get, the static imagery, versus a permanent burn-in. Permanent burn-in, it's when that's it. Your OLED emitting diodes are dying. That's it. They're dead. They're dead inside, and you got funky colors all over your TV. That means you got a permanent burn-in. It's over. Retention is something that can be fixed if it happens, but retention only happens if you're forcing it. If you're like purposely forcing it for like 48 hours straight, you're looping the same old scene for like, I don't know, 2 minutes or 3 minutes, or if you're purposely putting a picture of something and pausing it for 48 hours without any precaution of standby mode, or, well, just a standby mode. If you just put on a standby mode after 15 minutes of not using it, guess what? Your OLED will go into a standby mode, and you don't have to worry about that potential retention of imagery being enclaved into your TV, that static imagery. So this is only if you purposely are doing it. And this is what people who are sitting on the sidelines or who are just sitting in between and are debating whether or not they should buy an OLED or should they not buy it. Look, I can only talk to you from my own experience. I know there's a lot of trash out there on the internet. When people are reading on the internet, there's all kinds of trash regarding the OLED TV. All right, and you're going to find all kinds of stuff on there. And it's usually coming from individuals who have an agenda against the OLED, or individuals who don't even have the OLED, but they're willing to take some other photo from somebody else, Photoshop it, put it on their fake website, and then start talking about it without any credibility. Okay, if you want to believe those individuals, if you want to read that crap, then be my guest and read that crap. If you are afraid of looking at the Artings video, well, you have to remember something. The Artings did it purposely. They were purposely doing it. If I purposely use a nail and keep pushing it with a hammer through a wall, guess what? It's going to go through a wall eventually. So if you're doing something purposely, it's going to happen. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about that if you buy an OLED TV and you turn on the TV and you go on your phone for like 5-10 minutes and you pause the image, it doesn't mean automatically you're going to have that retention on the screen or that static imagery being imprinted onto your TV. That's not the case. Or if you're using your desktop and you leave your desktop for like 10-15 minutes, doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're going to have that permanent, imprinted static imagery onto your screen. It doesn't mean you're going to have that. How do I know this? Because I have tried it. I have OLED. I don't have some kind of specific super different technology of OLED. I have the same OLED that you guys have or that the others have out there. And I have tested it for 8 months. I don't work for LG. LG does not pay me money for this. This is all coming from me. And here, even here, look, there's an article here that even here on this article says the best TVs to buy right now by Consumer Reports. This is by the Consumer Reports. If the LG had this major issue, like I always keep telling people, if the OLED has this major issue of this permitted burn-in, guess what would happen? Same thing that happened to the Samsung, 7 series, Galaxy Note 7, of the batteries blowing up and all that. They would have a recall. There would be a recall. They would be forced to have a recall. Every company has to be forced. If their products are not working, they have to be forced to have a recall. Either you fix this or you scratch this and make another model, make something newer that will work. Okay, there will be a recall of all these televisions. Everyone would be reporting it. I mean, everyone would be reporting it. Everyone would be talking about it. Guess what would happen? LG would not be making OLED anymore. LG would be moving to a different type of technology. Maybe micro LEDs, maybe something else. I don't know. But they would not be making the organic light emitting diodes if this was an issue. But it's not. People who are making it to be issue, either A, they don't know how to use the OLED, or B, they're doing it on purpose, or C, they have an agenda, which is the most likely the C, an agenda. Either they don't like the fact that it's too expensive and they have to pay so much for it. Listen, there's a reason why it's expensive. OLED is not for everyone. It's expensive for a reason. Bugatti is not for everyone. There's a reason why it's expensive. Lamborghini is not for everyone. There's a reason why it's expensive. I know I can't afford Bugatti, but I'm not going to talk bad stuff about Bugatti just because I can't afford it. Just because you can't afford something, you shouldn't be talking shit about it. You don't see me talking crap about Samsung QLED. It's not because I have it, but because it is a good, very balanced TV. That's what I keep telling people. It's a really well-balanced TV, meaning that the TV has a lot of stuff in it that makes it really well recommended and balanced. Has a lot of different things in there, except the Dolby Vision. Dolby Vision is the one thing that's missing. So, and I'm really kind of getting tired of all these messages. Listen, if anybody sends me another message about OLED burning, I'm just going to block you. I'm just going to remove you, man. I don't have time for your rhetoric, man. I will not allow your rhetoric to be pushed. I will not allow your misinformation agenda to be pushed onto my YouTube channel, all right? Because that's exactly what you're doing. And I don't have time for that. So if you have something to back up your claim, if you got some kind of credibility instead of just a hearsay, then maybe I'll look into it. But until then, man, I'm not gonna waste my time. As you can see, the LG is still in business. They're selling OLEDs. They're making gazillions of money doing so. Yes, it's expensive, but here it is. It's 20. Look at this, $2,800, 65 inch. Check this out. No, actually, let's look at this. Look at this. There's LG right here. It's $2,800. Now you go to Samsung. You go to Q8 or Q9, 65 inch. It's gonna cost you about the same. So what do you want to do? You want to get the Q9, or do you want to get the C9 with 65 inch OLED? Check this out. That's a pretty good price for a 65 inch C9 OLED. That's a pretty good price. So it's not that super expensive. If you're willing to spend $3,000, $4,000 on a quantum LCD, LED technology, you can afford this as well. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear, oh, I can't afford it. Then how do you can afford to buy a 65 inch QLED that costs about the same? That's $3,000, $3,500. Okay, as you can see, they are in business. They're not like out of business. They're selling these OLEDs like crazy. It's not just me saying this. I know a lot of people who have OLED, especially in UK, in United Kingdom. I have a lot of friends in United Kingdom, and they haven't told me about they haven't told me about any major problems. Sure, once in a while, out of the blue, after 2 years, a little bit of retention happens, but that's due to the fact that they were careless, But you can fix that retention. That can be fixed. Burn-in, it's permanent. That can be fixed, okay? Let's read this article. I just want to read this article. Best TVs to buy right now. Consumer Reports tests hundreds of televisions each year. These 4K sets rise to the top. With clearance sales of for 2018 models now well underway, and more movies and TV series being presented in 4K high dynamic range HDR, this may be a great time to buy a new 4K TV. All right, so let's move on over here. You can choose between two basic TV display technologies: LCDs, which are also called LED TVs for LED backlit that illuminate the screen, and OLED sets where each pixel generates its own light. There are far fewer OLED TVs on the market, and they tend to be more expensive, though prices have dropped significantly over the past year. OLED sets can deliver a truly stunning picture, in part because they do a great job of displaying the blackest parts of an image. The deepest shadows can really look black as in real life. Rather than the gray, OLED TVs also are unlimited viewing angles, so the picture still looks great if you view it from a side of a room. Alright, so let's go over here. Now, I'm not going to read through this whole thing, but they're pretty much telling you best TVs overall. LG OLED 55 CP9, C9, there you go. Although a few Sony OLED sets are top of your TV ratings, now it's mainly due to the higher reliability scores, so there's a strong amount of them to be made. The 55-inch 2019 LG OLED, the only size in this series we tested so far, earned top score for HD and UHD picture quality and did a better than Sony OLEDs when it comes to HDR performance. Like all OLED TVs, this model has an almost unlimited viewing angle. Alright, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but you can see the OLED, it's winning across the board. It even beats the Sony OLED. So the LG OLEDs are just pretty much top of the line right now. And there's a reason why they're top of the line, and there's a reason why they're being priced at a certain price range. Okay? Because you're getting the best of the best at the moment. Alright? But if this witch hunt, this rhetoric, the same old rhetoric of burn-in was so true, if it was so true, well, guess what? They wouldn't be talking about the OLED TV. They wouldn't put it down in the Consumer Reports as the best TV to buy. LG would be out of the business. There would be a recall. That's it. You wouldn't see any more OLEDs. All right, but that's not the case. That's the only case if it's coming from somebody who has an agenda. And they're going to beat the same goddamn drum all the freaking time. Because that's what they're pushing. That's what they're selling. They're selling the hearsay bullshit agenda. Okay, and they have no credibility. These individuals who tell you about the burn-in have no credibility. They're just pushing their agenda for whatever the reasons, okay? Maybe it's for their click views, or maybe because they want to be part of a same bandwagon to ride along, okay? I can tell you, as many others who have OLED, who have credibility, someone like me who had different types of OLEDs in course of 3-4 years, all right? I never had any issues, never had any problems. I know other people that never had any issues, never had any problems, okay? I have a handful of friends that haven't had any issues, haven't had any problems. Why that is? Maybe because we know how to use it. That's number one. Number two, we understand technology. You have to understand what you're buying. OLED's not for everyone. Okay? There's certain precautions you have to take. Any TV can break if you are, I hate to use this word, but if you're stupid enough not to know how to use it. You can break a Tesla car tomorrow if you know how to use it properly. You got to have some brains. You got to do some research. Okay? Unless you're just stupid and you don't care, well, that's on you. I don't have no cure for you. Okay? But don't tell me, don't push this stupid agenda to me trying to tell me that the OLED, it's having a permanent burn-in all the time. If that was the case, then how come they're making all this money? Everybody's happy to buy a TV that has a burn-in, right? Permanent burn-in immediately. People just happy to buy it. And they're making money. Here they are. They're still in business. Come on, man. I was like, come on, dude. Not really. Let's just let's stop beating around the bush. All right, because this whole rhetoric, it's getting old, and that's the main reason I'm making this video. Because this rhetoric, it's getting old. It's getting old, man. There's maybe certain groups of people who gonna buy into your rhetoric, but that's a small amount of people who gonna buy into that rhetoric. Majority out there, they know the truth and they have the OLED and they're enjoying the best possible picture quality. I don't know why you can't buy an OLED. I don't know. That's your problem. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not here to tell you how to save money. Maybe you need to figure that out yourself. Okay? But I'm not going to go out there and tell people don't buy Bugatti because it's too expensive. Don't buy a Lamborghini because it's too expensive. If you can't buy it, buy it. But I'm not going to tell you it's shit. I'm not going to tell you that it's garbage. I'm not going to tell you Tesla car it's garbage because it's using electricity. All right? Just because I can't afford it. Just because Tesla's $100,000 or $80,000. All right? The problem and the issue with a lot of people is they're so jealous that they can't afford something, so they're just willing to talk shit about it. They think everything should be entitled to them. Everything should be given to them. Well, that's not how it works. Nothing will be given to you. You got to earn it. You got to work hard for it. Okay? And if you can't buy it, well then don't read articles about television. Stick with what you have and be happy with what you have, because that's your life at the moment. All right? But I will not allow this stupid agenda to be pushed onto my channel. I'm just going to block you. I'm just going to remove you. This is my channel. I make my own rules. These are my rules. This is my trademark. That's my channel. You want to make your own rules, make your own channel. My channel here, my rules. If I hear anybody talk about the burn-in, I'm just going to block you, remove you. I don't care. I don't give a shit if I lose 1,000 subscribers. I don't want you. If I have 1,000 subscribers who just believe in burn-in, unsubscribe right now. I don't want you. I don't give a shit about my subscription and how many subscribers I have. But I'm not going to let this agenda, this rhetoric, this stupid misinformation rhetoric come into my channel where people are just misleading shit. Yes, there's possibility you might have a burn-in. Just like there's possibility you might be in a car wreck or in a car accident when you're driving if you're not paying attention. There's a possibility you might crash with a plane. The engine might stop, jet engine might stop working and you might crash. You might get stuck in the elevator. I don't know. There's all kinds of possibilities out there. But it doesn't mean immediately when you purchase an OLED TV, you're going to have that burn-in. There's possibilities your tires might blow up. I don't know. There's all kinds of possibilities. But to say and to spit this rhetoric of bullshit, to say that automatically you're going to have a permanent burn-in on your TV is just rubbish, and it's just baloney, and it's misinformation. So for the last time that I'm going to make this video, guys, if you're going to type me something about a burn-in, well, first of all, I'm going to block you, and your comments will never see a light of day, meaning that I review every and each comment. You know that. You know that your comment will not see a light of day. So if you're going to talk to me about a permanent burn-in, I'm going to permanently block you and remove you. I will not tolerate this stupid rhetoric and this stupid nonsense. It's enough. For 7 years, been listening to this stupid rhetoric and nothing. And here we are. With the 9 series and beyond, OLED is doing better than ever. LG OLED is selling like crazy. So your stupid rhetoric doesn't work. Okay? And that's it. That's all I got to say about that. Because quite frankly, I'm sick and tired of it. So this is why I'm just letting you know, if you're going to type me something about the burn-in on the television, I'm just going to block you. I'm not going to tolerate this rhetoric. All right? And if you can't afford it, well, too freaking bad. Too bad. Stick with what you can afford. All right? Don't try to compete with someone else. Stick with what you can afford. There's nothing wrong with the R17 TCL. If I could only afford TCL R617, then I would be happy with just TCL R617. But I'm not going to go around talking shit about the OLED. And the reason I did talk shit about it in 2017 is because I bought into it. I bought into this whole rhetoric like an idiot. And then I realized, I met Luke, I met Tech and Travel, I met other people who have the OLED, and I realized, oh, wait a minute, man. I started doing more research, and I realized there's a lot of BS out there. There's a lot of rhetoric out there, agendas people are pushing that it's not true. Because when you look at statistics of reality, and you look at the LG and how much they have sold regarding the OLED TV, staggering numbers. Look at this, Consumer Reports. They're selling like crazy. They're doing better than ever. Life is good. LG is doing better than ever. Actually, life is good for LG because they're doing better than ever. No one would have believed that in 2014, 2013, that the OLED would be this big, that it would sell this much. Who is the biggest competitor to the Samsung? The OLED, the LG. The LG OLED is the biggest competitor to Samsung right now, even to Sony. The LG OLED is the biggest competitor. Why that is? Must have been because of all this permanent burn-in that they have. I mean, come on, guys. Use your common sense. Use your common sense. Use this. Don't just jump into a rhetoric. Jump into this, common sense. That's what you should do. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. I hope you guys, I hope this video makes it clear, So, there you have it. And this will be my last video regarding this matter about the OLED TV. All right. There is no permanent burn-in. I never had one. Never had one. What are the odds that I don't have one? What are the odds that the others don't have it? And what are the odds that only the ones who are spitting the rhetoric and an agenda have it? And yet they don't have any proof to show you, to give you a video of themselves showing you their OLED TV with a selfie in front of the camera. No, they're not going to do that because they're going to Photoshop some video from somewhere that's old. They're going to put it on their page and start talking about it, put a vlog about it, blog about it. They're going to blog about it, talk about it, spit their misinformation. And of course, you got others out there who can afford it. They're going to jump into the bad bandwagon. They're going to start talking shit about it too. It's like one cult following shit. That's what it is. Just like everybody else out there, you know, jumping into a rhetoric bullshit. Instead of using this, doing the research, and looking at the people who actually have the OLED and who have many different types of OLED to give you a proper briefing on what this TV can do. Its positives and negatives. But hey, if you want to jump into that rhetoric, jump into the rhetoric. I could care less. But that rhetoric will not work with me here on this channel. That rhetoric, that drum you beating, you can't beat it here. You're not welcome here to beat that drum. Okay? So there you have it. Take care.